Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Thursday. Welcome back. I hope you're having a great day. So today is going to be a little bit of a skincare chit chat video based off of a video that I watched earlier this week by James Welch. I'm going to link his video in the description box down below, and I'm going to urge you to go check it out because he goes into much greater depth in terms of all of the ins and outs of the lawsuit that I'm going to be talking about. And I think it's really worth sitting through the entirety of the videos so that you can get all of those important details. I'm just going to provide like a super brief summary and share sort of my take on it. So yeah, check out James's video again, description box down below. It was an extremely well done video and I really enjoyed it. I enjoy a lot of his content anyway. So definitely go check it out if you haven't watched it already. So the lawsuit that I'm talking about here is a lawsuit that was brought about by a couple of lawyers who thought that they had essentially this like smoking gun type situation on St. Ives, their apricot scrub, causing micro tears in the skin, and that essentially just hundreds of thousands or millions of people were like getting these awful, terrible micro tears in their skin from using their product. And so let's sue St. Ives for this product and the damages that the product is basically causing to just everyone who has ever used the product. So basically, the end result of this lawsuit was that these lawyers were not able to scientifically prove that micro tears from facial scrubs, specifically the St. Ives facial scrub, it's just not a thing. Like, they just don't happen. They literally could not prove it. So I do think there's a little bit of nuance here. So I just kind of want to like talk through that. I don't think that everyone should use a facial scrub. Personally, I still love facial scrubs. I use them sparingly, but I still use them. Manual or physical exfoliation has been a fantastic choice for me, but it may not be for you because you have a very sensitive or delicate skin type, in which case you would hopefully know not to, use a super aggressive or abrasive scrub on your face. In the past, in fact, for a pretty decent chunk of my late teens and well into my 20s, I used the St. Ives apricot scrub. I started out with their original one that came in that kind of peach colored tub. Later they put it into a tube, and then I started buying the salicylic acid one because I figured, yay, it's got salicylic acid and I can scrub my face with it. I certainly was not the most gentle, especially when I was in my teens. I just, I'm sure that from time to time I probably irritated the heck out of my skin with that particular scrub. I was using it on acne-prone skin. I know now you should never use an abrasive scrub or probably even a washcloth to like rub at your face if you have active breakouts. You don't want to do anything to damage the skin to cause scarring or that kind of stuff. But I feel like one of the things that is lacking a lot today is common sense when it comes to like following the directions that are listed on a product. I think a lot of us are probably guilty of that. We go out, we buy a skincare product, we think we know how to use it because we've used a lot of other skincare and it looks like this other thing that I use, or it feels like it, so let's use it the same way. I think it's really important to always, one, look at the ingredients, make sure there's nothing that is going to irritate your skin if you have sensitivities. I think it's important to read the directions. They're there for a reason. Certain products are meant to be used certain ways, and if you use them outside of that intended use, yeah, there could be some adverse consequences. But it was really kind of nice to hear that like micro tears are just not a thing though. I do think, taking let's face it, St. Ives is pretty abrasive. It's a little bit more aggressive than I would like for my skin at this point in my life, but I don't think it's like a complete garbage product. In fact, I think it's actually probably a pretty great body scrub. There's tons of body scrubs to choose from though, so I don't know why you would specifically purchase it for that. But if you're still using St. Ives on your face and you're gentle, then don't let people tell you that you shouldn't use it. If it works for you, use it. I mean, that's really the case with any skincare, right? So for me, I still very much enjoy my facial scrubs, and I am just much more gentle with how I use them at this point. One of my favorites is the Derma-E Microdermabrasion Scrub. I will only use something like this a maximum of once a week, never more than that. And I use a small amount, and I use really, really light pressure. I am not scrubbing at my skin. I am not staying in one area for too long. I'm just kind of gently buffing and then moving on and just doing my whole face. This particular, you okay, buddy? Alf is in the room, so he's the one growling. This particular one is wonderful because the crystals are very, very finely milled. So you do have to be careful. You don't want to, go scrubbing at your face, but this is a gentle enough scrub for me to even use on my neck. And my neck is definitely the most sensitive area on my body. For me, I have a really tough facial skin. I always joke that it's basically rhino hide. I can do a lot to my skin. I can tolerate fragrance. That's my skin type. I feel like what's important when you're, watching other people talk about products is to know what your skin type is and what works for you, and, just kind of honing in on, the key things that you are looking for in your routine. What actives are you looking for, all that stuff. Pay attention. And not every product is going to be a good fit for everybody. So anyway, all that to go back to this whole point of the video, microtears are not a thing. I've been criticized quite a bit because I do use physical or manual exfoliation still at this point. I still also use my Clarisonic, but I do all of these things in moderation, and I'm not aggressive. I basically follow the directions, and I've never had any adverse effects from using a facial scrub. I think if you have a dermatologist that you really trust, like I really trust my dermatologist. I see him once a year. I have a family history of melanoma, and so when I go in, I don't wear any makeup. He needs to basically check out from head to toe, make sure that there's no changes in my skin or anything. And he definitely always takes a close look at my face, and he has told me every time that I've gone in for the last several years that my skin is in fantastic shape. Like, he says, whatever you're doing, it's working well for you. The only thing that he suggested a few years ago that I add in would be tretinoin, and I did. He said it would be a game changer, and it was. But yeah, I trust him, and he has never once looked at my skin and said, oh my gosh, you have a totally compromised skin barrier. What are you doing? Are you using facial scrubs? Don't ever use those. Like, he's not against that stuff. So I think it's important to just be mindful of, everything and sort of do your own research, but to also not always give in to the fear mongering. If you like using facial scrubs and you're gentle, you don't have anything to worry about from the sounds of this lawsuit. Even these lawyers with their scientists were not able to prove that microtears happen from this specific facial scrub. So just be mindful, be careful, and you should be fine. So don't always listen to all of that fear mongering. Parabens have been vilified. I don't really have a problem with them. If it's going to extend the shelf life of my skincare, and it doesn't affect me negatively, I'm totally fine with it. I don't have problems with fragrance in my skincare, but there's also a lot of people who do have problems with fragrance in skincare. So luckily there are loads of brands out there who don't include any fragrance at all. So just be mindful of what you're buying and how you're using it, and making sure that it's a good fit for you. But microtears shouldn't be an issue. So if you're concerned about those, sounds like you don't have to be based on this lawsuit. So definitely go check out James's video. Like I said, he does a much more deep dive. He actually reads through different parts of the lawsuit. So Go check that out if you are interested at all. And yeah, so anyway, thanks for listening to my take. I'm going to keep using my microdermabrasion scrub once a week, and I'm happy with what it's doing. So works for me. If it works for you, keep doing it. If it doesn't, change it up. I mean, that's the beauty of skincare, right? If something doesn't work, you just go try something else. All right, have a great rest of your day. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Please subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.